One of the things about Chattanooga, Tennessee that attract so many people is that it has all 4 seasons. So in this video, since we are currently in winter, we are going to go over what winter is like in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Barron. I'm a licensed realtor here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So as much as I love making these videos, I love helping you guys out with your real estate needs even more. So if you are looking to move to Chattanooga, Tennessee, contact me and my team in any of the ways down below, and we will be happy to help you guys out. Let's get on with the video. So we're gonna go over these 4 things when it comes to the climate in winter. We're gonna go over temperature, we're gonna go over rainfall, we're gonna go over humidity, and we're gonna go over snowfall. By the way, it is February 28th, so we're towards the end of winter. This season has been a very, very mild one. We didn't have one day of snow, which kind of sucks. I was really looking forward to it because when you're living in Chattanooga, Chattanooga is seated in a valley between 2 mountain ranges. Those are the Appalachian Mountains and the Cumberland Mountains. And what happens is when it snows, it becomes absolutely beautiful. It's a winter wonderland, and when it does snow, you definitely want to make it a point to head to the mountains if you have a 4-wheel drive vehicle, so you don't get stuck or slip on the icy roads. But you want to go and make a visit out there just because of how gorgeous it is. When you get up to the mountains and you're driving through the snow-covered trees, it is amazing. And then you get to the viewpoint and it's just snow-covered mountains. Absolutely gorgeous. I highly recommend it. But we didn't really have that this season, which kind of stinks. I always look forward to snow here in Chattanooga when the time does come. It snows only about 1 to 3 days per year. In the past, this year we haven't had any yet. Who knows? Tennessee is kind of crazy, we're at the end of February, but who knows? Maybe in the next couple of weeks or month, we'll get a random snow day, even though it's, we're heading towards spring. So we'll see what happens there. Winter starts in December, obviously, and we have an average low of 37 degrees and an average high of 55 degrees in December. Now in the months after that, the average daily high for winter in Chattanooga is around 54 degrees. So as you can see right there, the temperatures are very mild in the winter. Now cloud cover is one thing that I absolutely hate about winter in Chattanooga. Winter is my least favorite season here, as you can imagine. I don't speak too highly of it, but really it's not that bad. When it comes to cloud cover, it's going to be cloudy and overcast just over 50% of the time. Now, during winter, when you're actually in it, it feels like almost 100% of the time. That's not actually the case. Just like today, the sun is shining, it's like 72 degrees, and it's absolutely beautiful out. So there obviously are exceptions, but most of the time it's going to be cloudy and overcast, and sometimes it sucks. Now I get comments all the time from people saying, oh, if you can't stand the winters in Chattanooga, then you should just leave. It's like, no, that's only one thing that's probably the single thing that I don't like about Chattanooga are the winters. For me, they just suck. I'm a beach boy at heart. I love the sun and get a lot of dopamine from the sun. So I spend as much time in the sun as possible, and winter kind of prohibits me from doing that. When it comes to precipitation, a wet day is a day that includes around 0.04 inches of precipitation. Now that's not that much because when it does precipitate or when it does rain here in Chattanooga during the winter, it's more of a mist and a sprinkle rather than a downfall or a downpour. We do have days where we do have downpours, like yesterday it downpoured. There was a thunderstorm that ran through, but it was a very warm day. Usually when you have warmer days in the winter, that's when the thunderstorms come. But here, when it does rain during the winter, when you have cooler temperatures, 40s, 50s, it's more of a mist and a sprinkle, so the rain is not that heavy. Now, when we talk spring and summer, that's when the really heavy rainfall comes, and that's when you have the threat of tornadoes, but that's for another video. The threat of tornadoes isn't that bad here, really, but I should mention it. It is an important thing to consider when making the move here. There are a couple positives to winter in Tennessee and all of the precipitation and rainfall that comes with that. And one of those things is that the rivers fill up with water. They become very full, and what happens is those waterfalls that the rivers are leading to become very big. When we experience a freeze or a long enough freeze for the water to freeze up, in those rivers and mountains and waterfalls. You go to a waterfall and, if you've ever been to a waterfall, the rocks and everything, it's very wet. It's a very wet environment. So everything around the waterfall and maybe even the waterfall itself becomes frozen, and it's awesome. It looks absolutely awesome. So if you are visiting Chattanooga, or if you even live in Chattanooga and you haven't been to a waterfall during the winter after it rains and there's a freeze, make sure you go. I recommend Fall Creek Falls. That is a wonderful waterfall to go check out. Now, if you enjoy outdoor activities like whitewater rafting as well, that's an attractive thing to do during the winter, because when the rivers fill up, those rapids become a little bit more full and a little bit more fun to go down. All of the leaves leave during winter as well. So when you are hiking to the waterfall or to the viewpoint, you can see for miles, especially when you get to that viewpoint, because there's no foliage covering up any of the views. You can see for miles and miles and miles. Now, I personally think that is more beautiful, actually the most beautiful, during the fall, when we can see all the colors and all of the leaves change colors in the mountains. That's absolutely gorgeous. But winter has its beauty as well, because you can see much further and you see mountains much farther away. Now, there are a number of attractions and things to do in Chattanooga and Tennessee in general if you do not want to spend your time outside freezing your butt off the entire time, right? So in Chattanooga, we have the Tennessee Aquarium, we have Hunter Museum of Art and History, we have Rock City, we have Ruby Falls, we have the Incline Railway. We have plenty of museums to choose from, and there are a number of things to do if you want to, huddle up inside, go grab some coffee, some hot chocolate. There are a number of restaurants and coffee shops to go hang out in, and so you're not limited to things to do when you're just trying to have fun and relax in the winter. The last thing I want to touch on is buying a home in Chattanooga or Tennessee as a whole during the winter. I personally believe that winter is the best time to buy a home. And I'm not just saying that just because I'm a sleazy realtor trying to get you to buy a home. There's a few reasons why I think winter is the best. Everyone wants to buy a home during the summer, and I get it. I understand. The kids are out of school. You can usually get some time off of work. The weather is better. You just feel like it's a better time. I totally understand that. The problem is everyone is in the same situation. Everyone is out of school. All their kids are out of school. Everyone can get some time off work. So what happens is it creates an insane demand and little supply in the market. So when everyone is looking to buy a home, bidding wars happen. And what happens is you bid for the highest price. Great for sellers, terrible for buyers. So usually you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you're bidding for the top price. It's just not a good situation to be in. You have very little negotiating power during the summer because of the high demand. Now, during the winter, the market usually slows down. The demand isn't that high. Supply usually increases a little bit, and houses are staying on the market a little bit longer. Therefore, as a buyer, you have a little bit more negotiating power and negotiating room, especially if a house has stayed on the market for a little bit longer. And you're not competing with so many people for the highest price or the top dollar. The best negotiating position is the ability to walk away. And if you have multiple houses, multiple options, and you're not getting the price that you want, you can have that ability to go move on to the next home, negotiate on the next home. It's a great place to be in when you know that you have options. Another benefit of it being really rainy during the winter is it makes for better inspections. You can see the house pretty much in its worst condition, right, when it's raining. So you can see if there's any leakage in the roofs, you can see if there's any mold buildup. You can see if there's any water pooling in any of the areas inside or outside of the house or near the foundation. There's a lot of things that open up and become transparent when it starts to rain a lot. And when you're looking for a home, especially when it's your personal residence, it kind of sucks when you go to a house and it's perfect weather and the house seems absolutely perfect, and then you get your first rainfall and the basement floods. Not a good situation to be in. So when it does rain, it's a great place to look at a house, see it for what it's worth, see if there's any issues, and water really makes a home pretty transparent. On the topic of inspections, something that you will likely not regret checking out is a radon inspection. Radon is a radioactive gas that seeps up from the soil, and it is terrible to inhale, it is terrible to breathe in, it's terrible for your lungs. At a certain point, it is worse than smoking cigarettes every single day. So you definitely want to get that checked out. And if you do have radon, if it does come up in the inspection, then you want to get a radon mitigation system put in. But during winter, radon is increased. Radon production is increased. It becomes more apparent in homes. So that is another reason. Inspections are great during the winter because you can see the entire home for what it's worth, not when it's just in its best picture perfect condition. You can see everything that's wrong with it during the winter. And you can also kind of see what it looks like when all the trees around it are dead, when there's, the grass is yellow and gross. Hey, probably not the best sales strategy when it comes to showing homes during the winter, seeing a home for what it's worth, seeing everything that could go wrong with it. But it's best for the clients because if you buy a home during the summer and then come winter and all of these problems come up, you want to be aware of all of that up front. So in my opinion, winter is the best time to buy a home. And that is the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video and the information that I've provided, hit that like button, comment down below, and subscribe. And again, guys, I am a licensed realtor here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So as much as I love making these videos, I love helping you guys with your real estate needs even more. So in any of the ways down below, feel free to contact me and my team will be happy to help you guys out. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.